Alright, here's the video for 534, and in this video I'm going to quickly just go through the warm-up because it's been, what, a week since we have since we've talked about area or anything like that. Probably could even say it's been early, before then through testing and stuff. So this is the warm-up. You should be able to do this. Area of any rectangle, right, is area equals base times height, and the base in this case is 7.5. Um, could also be the 5. And the height then is the 5, so we're going to multiply those, right? And we are going to get 37.5. And what do we got? Square centimeters. Okay. Here's a triangle. The area of any triangle is base times height, but we will divide by 2. Base in this case is 8, and the height equals 4. So we're going to plug all our values in there. Area equals 8 times 4 over 2. That equals 32 over 2, which is 16. 16 what? Square meters. Now, why did we divide by 2? Remember that this used to be a parallelogram. We used to do the base and the height of the whole thing, but then we have to cut it in half to only get half of that parallelogram. Okay, and that's what that cube represents here. And here we actually have the area of a parallelogram. We do have, much like we did up here, had distracting numbers. And here we also have some distracting numbers, but the area of a parallelogram is the exact same as a rectangle. Base is 10. Now remember, the base is perpendicular to the height. That's what that symbol means. Base is perpendicular to the height. And that helps to cut out the clutter. And so the only one in this case would be the height is 6. So the area is 60 square inches. And the reminder here is that you can take this triangle, put it over here to make one solid rectangle. That's what that means. So, alright, let's get into today. What we were going to do if we were in class today is our goal is to find the area of a trapezoid, and we're going to use it based off of the things that we know. There are formulas to find the area of a trapezoid, but that is not the goal today. And so we would hand out the sheet, and we're going to go over this, and yes, these are repeat ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack finding the area of this trapezoid, or this one, by breaking it up into pieces we know. Now, one thing you can do, you could try to, you don't know for sure if that triangle fits in here, so you can't make that a rectangle. That's not an option. We could cut this and put this up here, but we would have to do the same, cut this one, put this one up here, and it does make one big rectangle. But how big is this, right? And how big is this? We know that that's not 8. We know that it's bigger than 6. So there's all these things that kind of come into figuring this out. And what we'll do is we'll break it down to what I think is probably the simplest shape for any of these, and that is a triangle. And what we can do is we can break that triangle up. Actually, let me leave that as black. And we have that upper triangle, and I'll refer to that as the red triangle. And we have the lower triangle, and that's the blue triangle. Okay. Now, how do we find the area of this triangle? Well, let's focus, and I'm going to do this part in red first. To find the area of any triangle, we say the area is base times height. Divide that by 2. Base times height divided by 2. And we could say that the base is 4 or 5. And the height then is 5, right? We divide that by 2. That's 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 10 what? 10 square meters. What we found in just red there is just the area of the red triangle. And now we need to do the same for the blue triangle, right? Area equals base times height divided by 2. And now we have a struggle. So the struggle is in what I referenced to earlier. The base must be perpendicular to the height. Alright, and in order for it to be perpendicular to the height, we cannot use 8 and 5. Those are not perpendicular. We don't have that little square in there, and it doesn't even look like that would work. Okay, so that's not going to work. And in all trapezoids, what we're going to do is we are going to use. Oops, I made one little mistake up here. I want to switch these two numbers. I can explain why in a second. The base to be 5 and the height to be 4. And when I do this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this 4 right here. And we are going to move that. Watch, I'm going to slide this base. Whoops, sorry about that. Just want this. I'm going to pick and watch how I'm sliding this over. This is still 4 meters, right? As I move this over. And do you see how, I know it shows up there in blue, maybe I should just change that color real quick to black. That because of this being 90, this is still 90. And now if you just focus on that blue triangle, it's very easy for us to see that the base is 8 and the height is 4. Divide that by 2. It's 32 divided by 2, which is 16 square meters. Okay, and when we add that whole thing up, we have 10 plus 16, and that equals 26 square meters. So the area of that trapezoid is 26 square meters. Now, why in the world would I change that base and height from up here? It's because I want you to start to recognize that the height of the two triangles will be the same. The height of the two triangles will be the same. All right, let's scroll over. Let's try this. Did anybody else think, hey, what if we didn't do the triangle there? What if we did the triangle down here? What would happen, right? And so that's fine. I'm going to use 2 different colors here. Let's use this. No, let's use this red. Let's use the green because we haven't used that green. Let's focus on this triangle, right? Should the area be different? No, it shouldn't, but we're going to find out, right? Area equals base. Base is 8. Height is 4. Divide that by 2. So we have 32 over 2, which is 16 square meters. That's interesting that that blue triangle is the same area as the green triangle. But they have the same base and they have the same height. We'll still divide those by 2, right? Okay. Now, let's put our attention then on the bottom one, or the other one. This one's a little trickier for us maybe to see. Here, let's choose purple for this. That's this triangle, right? And if we follow the same procedure, area equals base times height divided by 2. I think it's easy to see that the base is 5. But how do you get the height? Okay, I gave you that hint in the last one that the height is the same for both. And what we'll do is we are going to grab that. Just like this. And watch how I move this over to maybe a little bit more convenient spot. Put it on that tip of that triangle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that line there. Because it's 90 there, it's 90 here. And you can kind of flip this around if you had to, just to glance at it, look at it, pause it. But what we have is we do have that height to be 4, don't we? We divide by 2. So that's 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 10 square meters. 10 plus 16 is still 26 square meters. All right, that was a much slower process right there. Let's start to pick up the pace just a little bit. Okay. All right, we're going to again draw it in here. We don't normally have to do it twice, but we're going to do it here a little bit just to area of that triangle. Area is here's my base, here's my height. So area equals 10 times 6 divided by 2. That is 60 divided by 2, which is 30 square inches. And let's now do this red one. Right. Its base, right now, I think what that triangle kind of being upside down. If you need to, pause the video, flip it around, and you can look at the triangle the way you know it. There's its base. What's the height of that triangle? Alright, here we go. That height is this. I have to erase something just for a second. 6 inches. Just erase that for a second. Let's grab. Oops, let's go grab that too. And that's that over here, right? Go back here, draw that again. Red. You can see that in this case it is 5 and the height is 6, but we could also circle that, right? Again, just a reminder, the heights are the same for each one. Base is 5, height is 6. That's 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 square inches. We add that up, and we're going to have a total of 45 square inches. Just put the two triangles together. Same process here. 7s are a distraction. They would be used for the perimeter, though, wouldn't they? Here's one more. I'll do. Now, again, no matter how you cut it, I'd encourage you to stop, try it, kind of draw it out, and see if you can't figure that out. Right? So here we go. Let's go this way. All right, there's my triangle. We got a blue triangle right here. Let's find the area of that triangle. Area equals base times height divided by 2. Base is 8. Height is 4. Divide that by 2. That's 32. Divided by 2, which is 16. And we just have to call it square units, right? What those are. The red one is that up there. And we can count that as area equals base 6. Height of, remember, my little hint is that the height for one triangle is the same as the height for the other one, 4 over 2, which is 12 square units. 12 square units plus 16 square units is 28 square units. Alright, now last I'd like you to watch this. I want you to try a couple of these. Pause the video, and I'm going to just show the whole thing. Pause the video and try some of these problems, and then I'm going to just show the answer key in a little bit. Okay, so you can pause at this moment. I also have these down here. You can pause on these problems. And I will give you a hint that the only thing shared with you with these problems are bases and heights. Bases and heights. They don't give you any distraction buffers in this problem. Okay? So pause these. Try them. Now come back. Alright, so here we go. Here are the answers for all of those. Hopefully you checked them. Looks good. If you have questions on them further, let me know. Alright, have a good day.